This is a quick beepurple video about building an app, a very popular subject these days. So what are we going to cover? First things first, going to do a quick reality check, then go on to talk about how you might go about prototyping it, how to build it, and then, as always, give you our contact details at the end. So started with a reality check, just because what you need to know is if you're going to build an app, you're going to need either lots of money or skill and time. So why do I say that? If you went to an agency, for example, and wanted to get an app built, for a good quality one, you're talking anything between £10,000 to £20,000. So often I think it's good to start with the reality of the situation. If you are skilled at computer coding and you know how to build an app, then of course you can go and do it yourself. So that'll save you lots of money. This is a slightly doom merchant thing to say, but the reality is the vast majority of apps fail. If you go on the iStore or the Play Store, you'll see there are hundreds of thousands of apps. How many actually ever make any money or succeed? It's very few. You're talking only like 1 or 2% or something like that. So that's the reality. And finally, something to ask yourself is an app really needed? So the reason I say that is because if you can build a mobile responsive website that does exactly the same, would that suffice? So that's something to consider. That being said, of course, there are many times when an app is necessary and is really useful and goes on to succeed. So the first thing you want to do is build what they call an MVP. So that stands for a minimal viable product. So if you think to yourself that you want the finished product to have lots of bells and whistles and it performs loads of different functions, then strip it down to its most basic functions and just build that version first. So if you're familiar with the app Dubsmash, which records you lip syncing over songs, so it records a video which you can then share with all your friends and contact via social media. When that first came out, it was a bit scratchy. It was essentially just a list of songs. It didn't look nice, but the core functions still work. So you could still record a video and then share it with your contacts. And they started in this way. They built a minimal viable product and then they perfected it later. So if you are going to prototype it, then you'd need to use some sort of software. And as far as I'm aware, there's a piece of software out there called Marvel where you can actually prototype your app for free. So, of course, should you choose to build it with Marvel, there'll be costs involved, but it's a handy way of showing how it'll look eventually when it is built. So then there's the question of how do you build it? As I've covered briefly already, if you're good at coding, then you could build it yourself. If you do go to an agency, like I said, be aware, finished article for a good quality app, you are talking anywhere between £10,000 and £20,000. And an alternative to that is what I've called here a bidding website. Not sure that's the best description, but what I've come up with at the moment. So these are websites like People Per Hour, Upwork, or Fiverr, where essentially you go onto these websites and you say, this is the job I'd like done. And then you get lots of skilled professionals from around the world bidding to take that job from you. So you might have someone from Bangladesh, for example, saying, I could do this job, it'll cost you £1,000. And then you might have someone from the UK who says, I'll do this job for you, it'll cost £3,000, and so on. At Fiverr, at the end, I should add, that's pretty much all jobs they can do starting from $5, hence the name Fiverr. Naturally, you get what you pay for, so be aware, but these are some options if you want to have a look around. As always, you'll get the most out of our service if you actually come and see us face to face and use the other services that we offer. So those things are one-to-one business support. We have, during term time, Wednesday evening workshops where we teach you the fundamentals of entrepreneurship. We've got a competition once a year where you can win up to £2,500. And we have a summer course where you can learn all of our workshops squashed into a week. These are our contact details, so go on our website, send us an email, beepurple@brighton.ac.uk, or give us a call.